Good evening. As the world grapples with the horrific violence against minority Hindus in Bangladesh, a chilling reality emerges closer home in India. Certain individuals and opposition leaders seem to be salivating at the prospect of replicating this mindless violence, with some even openly inciting mobocracy. Congress leader Salman Khurshid's remark that what happened in Dhaka can happen in India is a disturbing indication of this mentality. Another Congress leader's statement that people will target PM Modi's house next is a virtual call to arms, inciting violence and mob rule. Let's be clear, viewers, opposition to a government or leader is democratic, but inciting violence and mobocracy is not. The hate for Modi cannot justify the desire to unleash chaos and destruction on the streets here. This is not political opposition, but a recipe for anarchy.
Nothing. I'll go back.
Your own party has distanced itself.
No.
Your own party has distanced itself from your comment. What do you have to say?
Please ask my party.
याद रखना नरेंद्र मोदी जी, एक दिन ये जनता जितने सड़क पे हिलोरे दे रही है, एक दिन तुम्हारी गलत नीतियों से तुम्हारे प्रधानमंत्री निवास में घुस जाएगी, कब्जा कर लेगी.
This is the same Congress party which in Modi Virodh time and again has descended into Desh Virodh, sometimes asking for foreign intervention into India, sometimes betraying and berating the Indian institutions of democracy on foreign soil. Today Rahul Gandhi must tell us that does he accept the stand of Salman Khurshid?
मुझे लगता है कि बांग्लादेश से हमें ये सबक सीखना चाहिए कि तानाशाही का ज्यादा वक्त नहीं होता है.
जब विदेश यात्रा में राहुल गांधी जाते थे और कई लोगों से चोरी चुपके विदेश में जाकर मिलते थे और भारत के खिलाफ वहां कह के आते थे, तो आज मालूम पड़ रहा है आखिरकार मनसा क्या थी.
Viewers, you heard the reaction. What does it mean? What do they want? Are they endorsing destruction of public property, the targeting of innocent citizens, and the undermining of the rule of law? What else can it mean? Are they endorsing this nationwide anarchy? Salman Khurshid and the entire India ecosystem, do they back this despicable desecration of statues here? Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Indira Gandhi, what have you? What do they want? And why are they saying, if they don't mean this, are they backing undemocratic regime change? Is that their slogan now? People who are chanting Jai Samvidhan are now suddenly resorting to this kind of antics without realizing the potential danger that it has. Are they endorsing this mass looting, arson, vandalism that is only going up by the minute in Bangladesh? Is not limited to Dhaka anymore. Let's go to the next one. Attacks on minorities and temples. Do leaders of Team India want this? Attacks on minorities here in our country. 5-star hotels have been set on fire. Many people have been burnt alive. Is this the India model, viewers? That's the question we are asking. And let's open this up on that note then. Shehzad Poonawala, the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Sushant Sareen, senior fellow of the ORF, Dr. Syed Hafiz, spokesperson of the DMK, IP Singh ji, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, and Kamruzaman Chaudhary completes the panel. I want to begin with you, Kamruzaman Chaudhary ji. What has Salman Khurshid said? Because I can't make sense of it. And I haven't heard any condemnation from senior India Alliance leaders. Why are you backing anarchy?
Now, Pranesh, whether the events which are happening in Bangladesh can happen in India is of course debatable, and I doubt it to be happening in India.
No, do you want it to happen in India?
Or the underlying factors leading. Can I please finish, Pranesh?
No, you can, sir. It's a legitimate question. I'm concerned.
Basically, you can ask. You have got a very esteemed panel tonight. Let them also cross me up. You have put up a question. Let me put it forward what Salman ji has actually meant to say.
Okay. Elaborate on what Salman ji said.
Or the basic thought processes that came into Mr. Yeah, on the thought process in which Salman ji said these words were not out of the context, because the same underlying factors which led to the anarchy in Bangladesh, like joblessness, like price rise, or like how the government is functioning, these are all factors that are certainly existing in India to a different degree. Maybe it exploded in Bangladesh, but it's yet to find any resonance in Indian democracy. We are a vibrant democracy, a tolerant one, no doubt about it. But the underlying factors are of course there. You have got an Umar Khalid in jail for whatever reason, for 1500 days without a fair amount of trial. Even his bail application has been rejected. You have got 150 MPs chucked out from the parliament just because somebody wanted to pass bills without any discussion. You have got state governments in Maharashtra, in Manipur, Goa, Karnataka, and Madhya Pradesh, and lots of places have been simply dismissed because they wanted a different government out there. You have got the Assam government framing laws day in and day out, which seems to be targeting a particular section of the community in the state. You have got the government which is always silent whenever atrocities are happening against a particular section. The underlying factor, Pranesh, cannot be discounted, and of course, as a nation, we stand with our government of the day, that is the Bharatiya Janata Party government, in whatever decision it takes. But I cannot be an ostrich with my head buried in the sand and say that everything is hunky-dory.
I am not surprised with what you are saying, because I had expected this from you. Otherwise, you know, how would we have a debate? If you agreed with what I said, how would we debate? Now, in defending Salman Khurshid, Kamruzaman Chaudhary, look what you've done.
No, it's not a question
one minute. Listen to me now. In defending Salman Khurshid and the likes of Sajjan Verma, or whoever he is, you have questioned the integrity of our judiciary. Not just that, you have condoned the mindless mob rule violence murders in Bangladesh by saying that there is context to what is happening in Bangladesh and there is context to what is happening in India. Now, before I get in the BJP, Sushant Sareen, over the last 2 days, sir, you know, reports have been pouring in, disturbing images, visuals, terror tales. I don't want to mince my words, but look what it has come down to. People are now craving for this kind of scenario to happen in India.
Yeah, so Pranesh, there will be a lot of people who will want this to happen in India because they think it will catapult them into power. I think that's the hope. And the assumption is that this will happen to their opponents and it will not happen to them. So let us assume for a moment that I don't know who that low-life character is whom you showed, who was threatening that this will happen in the Prime Minister's house. Yes, it could happen in the Prime Minister's house. It could just as well happen in Mr. Verma's house, that low-life's house. And it could happen in the house of a chief minister, right? Are you endorsing it? Are you backing this? Are you giving it some kind of sanctification that this kind of mobocracy, this kind of mob rule is what is the way to change governments? Or do you go into an election, as indeed has happened in India, Pranesh, on multiple occasions, that in states people have gone into elections, they've been very closely fought elections, and governments have changed. And people have very gracefully, we saw that in Andhra Pradesh this time, we've seen that in Karnataka, we've seen that in multiple states, that, you know, gracefully you hand over power to whoever wins an election. Elections are happening and elections are free and fair, number one. Number two, you know, there is this self-destructive streak in many of these characters. And like Mr. Chaudhary is talking about poverty and joblessness, is mobocracy and what we are seeing in Bangladesh, with factories being burned, with the state going up in flames, no government left, you know, anarchy on the streets, do you think this is going to create, this is going to address the issue of joblessness?